1.578 kasus DBD di Pekanbaru, Dinkes imbau 3M+. 2. Understanding the DBD outbreak in Payung Sekaki, 578 cases reported. 1.578 kasus DBD di Pekanbaru, Dinkes imbau 3M+. Riau 1, 578 kasus DBD di Pekanbaru, Dinkes mengajak warga untuk gencarkan 3M+. Riau 1.com, Dinas Kesehatan, Dinkes, Kota Pekanbaru melaporkan bahwa sejak bulan Januari hingga Juli, terdapat 578 kasus demam berdarah dengue, DBD, yang terdeteksi. Meskipun angka ini terbilang tinggi, kabar baiknya adalah semua pasien yang terinfeksi telah sembuh tanpa ada laporan mengenai kematian. Semua warga yang terjangkit DBD sudah pulih. Tidak ada yang meninggal dunia, ungkap Pelaksana Tugas, PLT, Kepala Dinkes Pekanbaru, Dr. Fira Septianti, pada Rabu, 9 Juli 2025. Untuk mencegah penyebaran DBD, masyarakat diimbau untuk melaksanakan pemberantasan sarang nyamuk, PSN, dengan menerapkan prinsip 3M+. Langkah-langkah ini mencakup menguras dan menyikat tempat penampungan air secara rutin minimal 1 kali dalam seminggu. Menutup rapat tempat penyimpanan air seperti tempayan, tandon, atau drum. Memanfaatkan atau menyingkirkan barang bekas yang dapat menampung air hujan. Komponen plus dari strategi ini mencakup upaya tambahan seperti menggunakan obat anti nyamuk, memasang kelambu saat tidur, memelihara ikan pemakan jentik, menanam tanaman pengusir nyamuk, serta mengganti air pada vas bunga, tempat minum burung, dan tampungan air lainnya secara rutin, jelas Dr. Fira. Dinkes juga mendorong pelaksanaan gerakan satu rumah atau gedung satu jumantik. Gerakan ini bertujuan untuk memantau keberadaan jentik nyamuk secara berkala dengan melibatkan kader kesehatan, peserta didik, dan masyarakat umum. Kegiatan ini sangat penting untuk memastikan tidak ada jentik nyamuk di lingkungan tempat tinggal, tambah Dr. Fira. Selain itu, Dinkes mengajak masyarakat untuk kembali mengaktifkan sosialisasi mengenai perilaku hidup bersih dan sehat. Ini merupakan bagian dari edukasi pencegahan DBD yang berkelanjutan. Penting untuk dicatat bahwa fogging bukanlah strategi utama dalam menekan penyebaran DBD. Mengapa? Karena upaya fogging hanya membunuh nyamuk dewasa, bukan jentik atau telur. Saya mengingatkan kepada warga untuk segera membawa anggota keluarga ke fasilitas kesehatan jika menunjukkan gejala DBD. Segera laporkan ke puskesmas terdekat agar dilakukan penyelidikan epidemiologi oleh petugas kesehatan, tutup Dr. Fira. 2. Understanding the DBD outbreak in Payung Sekaki, 578 cases reported. In a startling revelation, the city of Pekanbaru is grappling with a significant health crisis as it reports a staggering 578 cases of dengue fever, DBD, in 2025 alone. This alarming statistic raises serious concerns about public health and safety in the region. But here's where it gets controversial. While all affected individuals have reportedly recovered, the sheer number of cases highlights a pressing need for effective preventive measures. According to Fira Septianti, the acting head of the Pekanbaru Health Department, there have been no fatalities linked to this outbreak, which is a relief. However, the distribution of cases reveals that the Payung Sekaki district is the hardest hit, with 74 reported cases. Following closely are Rumbai with 56 cases and Tenayan Raya with 55. Other districts such as Tua Madani, Marpoyan Damai, and Bina Widya also reported significant numbers, indicating a widespread issue that cannot be ignored. To combat the rise in dengue cases, Fira emphasizes the importance of community involvement in mosquito breeding site eradication through a strategy known as 3M+. This involves draining and scrubbing water storage containers at least once a week to eliminate potential mosquito habitats. Additionally, residents are urged to securely cover water storage tanks, barrels, and other containers to prevent the breeding of Aedes aegypti mosquito larvae. Moreover, it is crucial to dispose of or bury any items that can collect rainwater, as these can become breeding grounds for mosquitoes. To further protect against mosquito bites, individuals should use mosquito repellent as directed, sleep under mosquito nets, and even consider keeping fish that eat mosquito larvae. Regularly changing the water in flower vases, dispensers, and bird baths is also recommended to reduce the risk of mosquito proliferation. Fira also advocates for the implementation of the Satu House Building Satu Jumantik initiative, which encourages health cadres, institutional employees, students, and community members to monitor their surroundings for mosquito larvae. This proactive approach is essential in ensuring that no breeding sites are overlooked. Additionally, She stresses the need for ongoing education and awareness campaigns about maintaining clean and healthy living environments. Regular and consistent efforts to eliminate mosquito-breeding sites are vital in breaking the transmission chain of dengue fever. It's important to note that fogging, while a common response to outbreaks, is not the primary strategy for preventing dengue. This method only targets adult mosquitoes and does not eliminate larvae or eggs, which means that without comprehensive measures, the cycle of transmission can continue. If anyone in the community exhibits symptoms of dengue fever, it is crucial to seek medical attention at the nearest health center immediately. Reporting these cases to local health authorities will enable them to conduct epidemiological investigations and implement necessary interventions. What do you think about the current strategies being employed to combat dengue fever? Are there other measures you believe should be taken? Share your thoughts in the comments.